Well. Our tech show got ripped off. Get all the latest tech news in a way that doesn't suck. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Hello everybody and welcome back to Front Page Tech, the show that gives you all the latest tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. I hope you all enjoyed the holidays. We here took a bit of time off. As you can probably see, there hasn't been a lot of uploads, but we're back now and we've got to talk about something that's just recently transpired. Basically, some other people ripped off our show and we've got to discuss that and talk about that because that's absolutely terrible and we have to discuss it here. Okay, let's talk. Alright, enough with the fun and games. It's time for me to get my serious face on. Now, I could pretend that this new backdrop is because it's a more serious video, but actually it's just hot as hell in the studio right now. Okay, let's get to it. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you guys are probably not familiar with Front Page Tech, a tech news show that runs most days, created by Jon Prosser, who describes himself as a professional arsehole. Basically, I'm just going to cut to the chase. He accused us of ripping off his show. He made a tweet on December the 23rd. Yo, John Swan and Josh Pescator. What the hell is this? Your YouTube drama show has our cold open, our exact pacing, our same intos, the exact look of FPT Season 6, our style music, and the style of our titles. Being inspired by our work is one thing, but come on man. Now, as a news network with countless mainstream media connections and other very important contacts, it is integral to our brand that we respond to any allegations made towards us, specifically myself and Josh Pescator. I've talked to many YouTubers, big and small, about this whole situation. In fact, 450k sub YouTuber Optimus called out John on Twitter, and I'll talk about that a bit later. Everyone does not understand why John is so mad. So someone in a completely different niche that will have minimal audience crossover made a show with a similar layout. Why does he care? Not one person has come to his defense, and trust me, I've talked to a lot of skeptics who try to play devil's advocate. There is just not a single argument to be made here. He can't claim copyright, so he resorted to a call-out tweet. I actually gained followers over all of this. This hasn't impacted me in the slightest, outside of 650 people liking it who would never have watched our show anyway. Now, in John's tweet here, he lists out all of the things that I've stolen or copied from him. My only question is, what amount of inspiration or copying is okay? How many points do we have to qualify before something is tweet-worthy? Because some of these things aren't unique to Front Page Tech at all. If we take the very first point, John uses the word our when talking about his cold open, trying to take ownership of the concept of a cold open. It's very strange because throughout our conversations below this tweet and in conversations with other YouTubers, he's constantly stating that he does not want to take ownership of anything, despite using the word our for 5 out of 6 points in this tweet. John, you don't own a cold open. Many drama shows and even tech shows in your same sphere uses them as well.
Ninja has been mocked for not knowing how to slice a loaf of bread. Diane Buswell has been revealed as the UK's most subbed new YouTuber. Jeffree Star says he's received death threats over his peppermint frost palette. Hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, and brought to you by Pop Buzz. Having a bit of a Cotton Eye Joe.
Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian may have gifted their daughters some of the craziest Christmas presents. Plus, we have details on Travis Scott and Tristan Thompson reuniting with their exes for the holidays. Hey guys, it's Devontae for Hollywood Life with your Kylie Jenner update. And before we begin, hit that sub, like, and bell button for all the latest on your favorite celeb.
Hi guys, my name is Ryan, this is the Cashless Crew, and welcome to the second Tech News episode where we will be talking about 5 crazy technologies that completely blew my mind.
Apple is heading into 2020 with a lot of momentum, so let's look into the crystal ball to see what's in store on this very special episode of the Apple Core.
To make the point that we were copying you because we used a cold open in our show is ludicrous. His next point about pacing is equally as confusing. I don't know whether he's talking about the way I'm presenting the show or how I laid it out, because literally the only thing that I did that was remotely like FPT was the way I put the show together. Going from cold open to intro to story intro to the story. And I really don't think you can take ownership of the order of segments on a show. Just like I can't take ownership of the way that I laid out my 44-minute Minecraft documentary on my main channel. Even the way I laid it out was pretty unique in the grand scheme of documentaries, I can't rip on anyone else for using it, since the assets I used to make the layout were publicly available. Anyone could do the same thing as me, and to be honest, I really wouldn't care. How is it going to impact me at all? It won't. And again, even though John has stated that, that he does not want to take ownership of anything, that's cancelled out because of the way that he worded this tweet. Our exact pacing. Another incredibly weak point. And I wouldn't say that exact is accurate even. The only things that are similar between our two shows is the order of the segments. Our hosting styles are incredibly distinctive, very different. Apparently I use his exact into. I don't know if he was meaning to say intros, if it's just a typo, but I think I get his point. I think he means this thing. Get all the latest drama stories in one place. Or he could mean this thing. If he means this thing, then there's no argument to be made here. Countless shows use a bumper, and I made that from modifying a completely different template, so... but if he means this, get all the latest drama stories in one place, then I will concede one point here. I've always disliked how similar our subscribe scripts were, but it's kind of like, I don't know if this is just me, but like, if you're in school writing a report or something, and you find an article about the concept you're talking about, and in the end, you just end up rewriting the article. I don't know if that's just me, but if I'm just insane, but it happens to me all the time, and that's kind of what happened here, and I do think they are too similar. So I'll be asking around, trying to come up with something that sticks, but in terms of animation, though, that's a template, so I don't really think you can argue ownership of that. But the script I will be changing as soon as I possibly can. This next point is easily the one that I disagree with the most. John actually replied to this tweet with these images to try and back up this point. Apparently, I used the exact look of FPT Season 6, a look he hasn't used for 2 years. But John wasn't quite transparent about this because this is actually a template from VideoHive. John and his editor didn't even change the colors of the template from the default. At least I did that. But backing up this with the screenshot and showing the similar layout is just downright manipulative when you know that this is a template. I just slapped lower thirds 2 on there, same as you, anyone could have done the same thing. And then he tries to make the argument that I modified the template in the same way that they did, implying that it was some sort of a massive job that I had to do to get the layout looking the same, when in actuality all I had to do was take the original template, grab one of the pre-made scenes, make this mask a little bit smaller, and yeah, that's the change. He used a completely different background to me, so that's all the similarities from our layout that I changed. The intro sequence was exactly copied. They made no changes to that. In fact, I actually changed the colors throughout the project, and they didn't. So technically, I actually modified the template more than they did, if we want to go into semantics, but hey, we'll just gloss over that. Apparently, you can now take ownership of a style of music now too. Personally, I don't hear the similarities. It sounds pretty unique to me. It is a 100% original composition that I commissioned, so that argument holds literally no weight whatsoever. And apparently, you can also take ownership of a style of title. Many people make titles that look like this. It's nothing new. He also happened to pick the one title out of our entire catalogue that looks the most similar to his, one from a week ago from his tweet, so we love a bit of cherry picking. So yeah, that's it. That's all the points he made in his tweet. I actually made a response to John where I said, you could have taken your arguments to DMs instead of making a public call out. I responded below your tweets. Just be thankful I didn't respond like you did when Ben Geskin caught you stealing his concept art without credit. Ben Geskin is quite a prolific figure in the world of concept art, specifically Apple concept art. Ben made a tweet calling out John when he saw that he used one of his concept art pieces in his thumbnail, removed the watermark, and didn't give credit anywhere. John pretty much responded in the most childish way possible, crediting Ben in very unsavory ways, completely overreacting to a simple ask for credit in the description. I could have responded in the same way and taken no criticism on board, but I didn't. He now credits Ben in every upload when he uses his work, but responding this way to stealing actual assets is completely uncalled for. I used 0 of Front Page Tech's assets. Let me make that very clear. All the assets I found were online and are properly licensed. But I guess this is what happens when you make your whole show based off of a template. It's just not original, especially when it's the first result on Google when you search glitch broadcast package. The responses to John's outburst saw many people, even his own fans, backing away from supporting him. As I said before, Optimus, a figure that is incredibly well known in the YouTube commentary scene with 450,000 subscribers, responded to John saying, "Not sure how you can exactly complain about this when all of the resources to make your show are templates that are publicly available. You don't own a style of music, a style of titles, a look or pacing. Good luck trying to copyright any of those things." John said that he didn't want to copyright or own any of it, despite using the word "our" 5 times in his original tweet. Optimus responded with something that I think sums up this whole situation very well. So if you can't own it, don't want to own it, wouldn't own it, then why are you even mad in the first place? Once again, it's not being a shitty person to use the same template as you did from a public website. If you don't like it, pay money for your own work. John then repeats his same points. The style, pacing, layout of FPT isn't a template you can buy. It was just replicated by someone who couldn't paste their own original show. Once again, the style of the show is all templates, the layout is all templates, the way I deliver the show is unique to me, and the order of different elements is not a valid point you can make. You don't own these things, once again, and getting mad over someone replicating them is not only a waste of your time, but is also ridiculous. There were also a number of very funny parodies and satire which were made from all of this, really illustrating how his points are really not valid in the slightest. Your YouTube drama show has the exact same NN at the end. Be inspired by CNN work is one thing, but come on man. Your YouTube drama show has the same almost identical font. Being inspired by Sega work is one thing, but come on man. Your YouTube drama show has been uploaded to YouTube. Being inspired by Me at the Zoo is one thing, but come on man. Your YouTube drama show has the same almost identical font. Being inspired by Cordwit is one thing, but come on man. Very disappointed in John Swan and Josh Pescator for directly ripping off other people. Putting a human in your video was one thing, but a shirt too? This is too far, Mr. Swanathan. John Swan and Josh Pescator, I am so disappointed in you. You upload videos on YouTube? Obviously an FPT ripoff. Look at these screenshots. Same site, same shit. Why can't you guys be more original and uploading to Vimeo or Dailymotion or something? Content creators nowadays, shake my head. John made a tweet that said, "Trust me, I can tell you're a fan of FPT. I'm not worried at all about you taking business from me. It's not about views or niche. If you're a fan of FPT, it's even more disrespectful that you use the essence of what we've created and trying to pass it off as your own." Rocket Ralph said, "Damn, don't jerk yourself off too hard there, champ." How narcissistic does someone have to be to talk to self-admitted fans this way? You, I'm a fan. Him, well of course you are. Now let me continue talking down to you. Thank you to everyone in my community for fighting the good fight. I do want this clear though. I want to make an original show. I do not want to keep this look forever, but we have only been going for a little bit over 2 weeks now. We've just started. Expecting 100% originality at this stage is completely unreasonable. I'm sure John's first season of the show wasn't terribly original either. You know, it's a shame he wiped those from his channel. We will continue to mold and change the show to make it better and better. We already trialed out a completely new and original segment in one of our other episodes called Foolish Footage, which we will be continuing in our upcoming episodes. I want to make this show a place that delivers the latest drama news with journalistic integrity in a format that is enjoyable. And this show will continue to evolve, so stick with us and we'll see you all for the next story. Bye-bye.